Once upon a time, in a small village called Oko, there lived a beautiful princess named Chioma. She had long, dark hair that shone in the sunlight and eyes that sparkled like the stars. Princess Chioma was known for her beauty and her royal status. She wore the finest clothes and always had the best of everything. Everyone in the village admired her from afar, but Chioma did not have many friends. She was proud and often looked down on others, thinking she was better because she was a princess. This made her lonely, even though she had everything she could ever want. Chioma's father, the king, loved her very much. He wanted her to be happy and tried to give her everything she desired. He built a big palace with many rooms and gardens full of flowers for her to enjoy. Despite all this, Chioma still felt unhappy. She would look out from her window and see the children of the village playing together and laughing. She wished she could join them, but she didn't know how to make friends. She believed that if she was friendly, people would not respect her as a princess. One day, a gentle and calm prince named Jack visited Oko. Prince Jack was different from Chioma. He loved his people and treated everyone with kindness. He always had a smile on his face and helped those in need. The villagers were excited to meet him and gathered in the village square to welcome him. Chioma watched from her window as Prince Jack greeted everyone warmly. She felt a strange feeling in her heart, something she had never felt before. She wondered what it would be like to be loved by the people as he was. The next day, Chioma's father invited Prince Jack to the palace for a feast. The table was set with the finest foods, and the hall was decorated beautifully. Chioma wore her best dress and sat beside her father. As they ate, Prince Jack told stories of his adventures and how he had helped his people. Chioma listened quietly, captivated by his tales. She admired his bravery and kindness. For the first time, she felt a desire to change, to be more like him. After the feast, Prince Jack asked Chioma if she would like to take a walk in the garden. Surprised but pleased, she agreed. As they walked, Jack told her about his kingdom and how he had learned the importance of kindness and humility from his parents. He asked Chioma about her life in Oko. At first, she was hesitant, but soon she opened up about her loneliness and how she wished she could be a better princess. Jack listened carefully and then said, "Chioma, true greatness comes from within. It's not about how people see you but how you treat them." Chioma thought about Jack's words long after their walk. She realized that she had been wrong to look down on the villagers and that she needed to change. The next morning, she decided to take the first step. She went to the village market, where people were busy buying and selling goods. At first, the villagers were surprised to see her there. They had never seen the princess outside the palace. Chioma smiled and greeted them warmly, asking about their lives and their families. The villagers were delighted and began to see her in a new light. As the days went by, Chioma spent more time in the village. She helped the children with their lessons and played games with them. She visited the homes of the villagers and listened to their stories. Slowly, she began to feel the happiness that had always eluded her. The villagers started to love her for who she was, not just because she was a princess. She realized that being kind and humble brought her more joy than all the riches in the world. She also felt a growing friendship with Prince Jack, who continued to visit Oko. One afternoon, as Chioma was helping an old woman carry water, she saw Prince Jack walking towards her. He smiled and joined her, taking the heavy pot from her hands. Together, they carried the water to the woman's house. The old woman thanked them and blessed them. As they walked back to the village square, Chioma felt a warmth in her heart. She knew she had found a true friend in Jack. They sat under a tree and talked about their dreams and hopes for their people. Chioma felt grateful for his guidance and friendship. The next day, there was excitement in the village. It was the annual festival of Oko, a time of celebration and joy. The villagers decorated the streets with colorful cloths and flowers. There were songs, dances, and a grand feast. Chioma, dressed in a simple gown, joined the celebrations. She danced with the children and laughed with the villagers. Prince Jack was there too, and together they made sure everyone had a good time. As the sun set, Chioma stood on a platform and addressed the crowd. She thanked them for accepting her and promised to always be there for them. From that day on, Chioma's life changed. She became known as the kind and humble princess who cared for her people. She worked hard to improve the village and help those in need. The villagers loved and respected her, not because she was a princess, but because she was one of them. Chioma felt a deep sense of fulfillment and happiness. She knew she had found her true calling. Prince Jack continued to visit, and their friendship grew stronger. Chioma had finally found the love and acceptance she had always longed for. Years passed, and Chioma became a beloved figure in Oko. The village prospered under her care, and the people thrived. She never forgot the lessons she had learned from Prince Jack, and always treated everyone with kindness and respect. One day, as she was walking through the village, she saw a young girl sitting alone. The girl reminded her of herself when she was younger. Chioma sat beside her and asked why she was sad. The girl said she felt different and didn't have any friends. Chioma smiled and told her that being different was a gift. Chioma spent time with the girl, encouraging her to embrace her uniqueness. She shared her own story and how she had learned to be kind and humble. The girl listened and began to feel better. She started to make friends and joined the other children in their games. Chioma felt proud and happy to have made a difference in her life. She knew that she was passing on the lessons she had learned. The village continued to thrive, and Chioma's reputation as a kind and loving princess spread far and wide. One day, a messenger arrived from Prince Jack's kingdom. He brought news that Jack's father was ill and needed help. Chioma decided to visit Jack and see how she could assist. She traveled to his kingdom, bringing gifts and medicines. When she arrived, she found Jack by his father's side. The king was weak but smiled when he saw Chioma. She spent days caring for him, using her knowledge of herbs and healing. Slowly, the king began to recover. Jack was grateful and thanked Chioma for her help. They spent time together, sharing stories and strengthening their bond. As the king regained his strength, he praised Chioma for her kindness and skill. He said she was a true princess, not because of her title, but because of her heart. Chioma felt honored and humbled. She realized that true nobility came from within. She returned to Oko with a renewed sense of purpose. She continued to care for her people and work for their well-being. The village flourished under her leadership. She knew she had found her true path. Her friendship with Jack remained strong, and they supported each other in their roles as leaders. As the years went by, the bond between Princess Chioma and Prince Jack deepened. Their friendship had blossomed into a love that neither had expected. They supported each other through challenges, celebrated their victories together, and always found comfort in each other's presence. One serene evening, during the twilight hours, Prince Jack invited Chioma to take a walk in the palace gardens. The garden was in full bloom, with vibrant flowers releasing their sweet fragrances into the cool evening air. The setting sun cast a golden glow over the land, creating a magical ambience. As they walked hand in hand, Jack paused by a magnificent fountain, its waters glistening in the fading light. He turned to Chioma, his eyes reflecting the sincerity of his heart. "Chioma," he began, his voice filled with emotion, "you have brought so much joy and light into my life. Your kindness, your strength, and your unwavering dedication to your people have shown me the true meaning of nobility." Chioma's heart fluttered as she listened to his heartfelt words. She could see the depth of his love and admiration in his eyes. Jack took a deep breath and continued, "I cannot imagine my life without you by my side. You have become my closest confidant, my dearest friend, and the love of my life. Chioma, will you do me the honor of becoming my wife?" Tears of happiness welled up in Chioma's eyes as she realized the depth of Jack's feelings for her. She had always admired his kindness and humility, and now she knew that her heart belonged to him. "Yes, Jack," she replied, her voice trembling with emotion. "I would be honored to be your wife." The news of their engagement spread quickly through both kingdoms, bringing joy and excitement to the people. The wedding day was a grand celebration, with the villagers of Oko and Jack's kingdom coming together to witness the union of their beloved leaders. The palace was adorned with flowers and decorations, and the air was filled with music and laughter. Chioma looked resplendent in her wedding attire, her beauty shining even brighter with the happiness that radiated from her heart. Prince Jack stood by her side, his eyes never leaving hers. They exchanged vows of love and commitment, promising to support and cherish each other for the rest of their lives. As they were pronounced husband and wife, the crowd erupted in cheers and applause. The joy was palpable, and the love between Jack and Chioma was evident to all who witnessed their union. They danced and celebrated with their people, sharing their happiness with everyone. Together, they ruled their kingdoms with wisdom and compassion. Chioma continued to work tirelessly for the betterment of her people, always guided by the lessons she had learned from Jack. Their love grew stronger with each passing day, and their bond remained unbreakable.